What is up, YouTube? We're back. This is going to be Love Island Season 2, but this right here is the shady version where we try to play as messy as ever and as rude as ever in hopes that we actually lose the game. Yes, you heard that right. We are trying to lose the game. If you haven't already, please go check out the other episodes because that way you can hear the diabolical plan and our schemes on how we're going to knock this out the park. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how we're doing. Are we being shady enough? Do we need to kick it up a notch? Because I can do that. Let a girl know. Last time we left off, Lottie and Priya kicked off and they were arguing back and forth, and what did our lovely Hoella do? Absolutely not a thing. She sat in her corner, she graphed hard with Gary, she graphed hard with ROCCO, and she was like, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with this. This time, two new boys are about to show up, and it's going to be Armin, Lucas, and Henrique. So what is Hoella going to do? She's probably going to graph with both of them and leave ROCCO in the dust because we already know ROCCO is a snake in the grass and we can't trust him. So, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get into this, shall we? So we're on the rooftop. It says, why is it that some of our islanders don't wait for their alarms? Who honestly chooses to get up before they need to? This morning, it's Hoella who's playing the early bird and enjoying the sunrise. And oh, what worms we have for her to catch. All right. So the cool morning air carries the sound of the gentle bird song. Hoella's like, man, this place gets so intense. It's great to have a moment to myself. Little do you know, girl. I wonder how Lottie and Priya are feeling after last night. Probably not good. Lottie's just as determined as ever to go for Priya, so it seems like they're gonna kick it off again. Maybe today will be a little more chill. Yeah, I doubt it. So just then we hear splashing coming from the pool. So who's awake? What's that sound? Wait, could it be? By the pool, there are two boys that sit with their feet just chilling in the water. The tall blonde one is dripping wet. There's Henrique. He says, I can't believe we're really here. Show me my man Lucas. He says, tell me about it. I can't wait to meet the girls. Hoella's like, yes, new boys. None of the other girls are awake yet. I could go down there and say hello to them first. That definitely would make an impression and I'll get to know them better. So let's run down and meet the boys. This is worth looking my best for. Let's do the cheetah one. I feel like the cheetah one's gonna like play the part today. We're being fierce and sassy today. So we stealthily make our way through the dark room. The noise of Noah's snoring is masking our footsteps. Before anyone else even has time to stir, we're running right outside to go meet the boys. Hell yes, Hoella. She's like, hey there. Oh, hello, I'm Lucas. New Islander Lucas, he's chiseled, he's 27, he's a physiotherapist. Once gave a girl a foot rub on the first date. Listen, Lucas, you can rub Hoella's feet any day. Then we've got Henrique. He's like, hey, I'm Henrique. Not as chiseled, but tall, long hair, blonde. He's 23. He's a climbing and wilderness survival instructor, and he won second place for a Thor lookalike. These boys are super cute. Who should I say hello to back? How about, let's do it to both of them. She says, it's great to meet you both. Likewise. Kudos for being down first, but where are the others? Let's find out. So Hoella's like, oh yeah, the other girls, those girls, they can wait. I wanted you all to myself. Henrique's like, ooh, I love someone who's direct. And we get some hard eyes. To be fair, out of all the girls, you're most likely to pull a stunt like this. Yes, she is. Yeah, like the way you stayed back with the guys during yesterday's challenge. Sure did. He says, classic Hoella. These boys have been watching us on the telly. This is a perfect chance to quiz them before the other girls come down. I'll probably only have time for just a couple of questions. All right. So what are we gonna ask? Let's ask, have you seen anything interesting? He says, oh, we've seen plenty. There's been a few secretive kisses. I know he's talking about Hoella and Gary. So Hoella's like, oh no. And then we got Henrique over here like, did you know Bobby practices impressions when no one's around? That sounds like Bobby. Let's say, I want to know who's the public favorite. Lucas says, you're definitely being noticed. Yeah, you're talked about the most. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's hope in a good way. Let's hope in a bad way. No. Okay, so here comes Priya. She's like, hey fellas. We turn to see the girls that are like running down. Henrique's like, ooh, good morning, ladies. Lucas says, it's certainly a good one. Lottie says, nice of you to wake us up, Hoella. And the others are frowning at us. So the girls are all upset that Miss Hoella didn't wake them up. And you know what? I'm gonna say, you guys sleep like the dead. Sorry I couldn't wake you up. Hope says, clearly. Girl, bye, you got a whole man. Guess we have to keep an eye on you. I guess so, Hope. Because we're coming for Noah. Lucas says, it seems like you girls were outdone this time. Hope's like, so what do you boys do? Lucas opens his mouth, but then he's cut off before he can say anything. Marisol's like, how are we coming across to the public? Henrique turns to Lucas. He's like, I knew they'd be a handful, but this is something else. I'll show you who's a handful. Look at Lottie trying to flirt it up, finally find a man. Henrique says, oh yeah, you're feistier in person. That's one way to describe it. We've all gotten to know you all a bit before coming in here. It's been quite exciting. You look around at the other girls. There could be anything going on in here that no one knows about. Exactly. What have you seen? Marisol, come out with it. Oh, all sorts. I'd say some of the sneaky kisses are probably the most entertaining. So Lottie's over here shifting her eyes around the group. Sneaky kisses? Who's doing that? And Lottie. That's not our place to say. That would be a kiss and tell by proxy. Will this make the others less trusting of each other? Hopefully. Priya says, anyways, what do you guys do? So Lucas says he's a physiotherapist. Oh, so you give the best massages. He says, well, I've had no complaints, but I'm also really good at giving people a real good stretch. Ooh, he's getting cheeky. Priya's like, perhaps you could show us some exercises later. Henrique says, and I'm a climbing and wilderness survival instructor. That explains the body. Get some hard eyes. He's like, it just comes naturally. Ugh. Gary's like, oi, oi. So here comes hunk of man Gary. We all turn to see the other boys in the villa running out. Henrique's like, all right, boys. All the boys crowd around the newbies, separating the girls from them as they start to chat. The boys are blocking us. What should we do? Let's let them carry on because we already had our moment. After some jostling about, the boys move aside, giving the new boys some breathing space. Except Gary, who stays perfectly in between Marisol and Henrique. So Gary is not having it. He's like, nope, you can move. ROCCO says, hope we didn't ruin your fun. We just wanted to get to know the new guys. The poolside ain't the place to have the conversation. Okay, so Gary wants to move the conversation. He says, let's go to the fire pit where there's seats and stuff. You lads are in for a right grilling. So the group begins to settle around the fire pit. Hope sits on Noah's lap. Gary positions himself in the middle of Lucas and Henrique. ROCCO sits on the outer edge of the group. He says, come and sit next to me, babe. There's new boys here. Both Lucas and Henrique are looking at us. What are we gonna do? Who should I sit next to? Let's sit by Lucas. Sorry, ROCCO. ROCCO who? It's a new day, new man. Sorry. You move past ROCCO and take a seat right next to Lucas. Oh my, this fire pit is even more snug than it appears on TV. The other islanders look at the two of you and then turn and look at ROCCO. ROCCO's like, do you need a closer look at the new pretty boy or something? Yeah, we do. We sure do. Gary claps Henrique's leg as if they've been friends for years. So lads, the big question. What's your usual type? Straight to the point with you, eh? He says, what can I say? I like to be direct. I like a girl that's outgoing, adventurous, and doesn't take herself too seriously. That sounds like, I'm gonna say it sounds like me. I don't care what their type is, I'm gonna say it sounds like me. In terms of looks, the last few girls I've dated have been brunettes, just like Hoella, and I just have a thing for dark hair. I also have a real weakness for good tattoos, ones that have a lot of thought put behind them. You see Marisol raise her eyebrows and look over at Lottie. What about you, other guy? Gary, you better stop playing. His name's Lucas. The other boys chuckle amongst themselves. Guys get so protective when new men enter the house. Gary's like, what? I've only just met the bloke. Lucas says, but yeah, my type, I guess I'm used to girls who have a more decent taste, who know what they want in life and how to get it. If that sounds like anybody, that sounds like Hoella. So it's definitely me. He says he usually likes blondes, can't lie, and like someone who dresses to impress. But I don't stick to my rigid type format usually. All right. That was an easy question. Who else has one? Bobby's like, oh. Yeah, Bobs? What are your numbers? Priya's like, ooh, spicy. Henrik's like, why do you need that? Yeah, what's wrong? Are you a little ashamed? He's like, no, I'm a little bit confused, but fine. It's 0. Wait, he's a virgin? 7841. Fool's giving out his phone number. Marisol's like, wait, which one is it? Oh, Henrik, they meant sexual partners. We're trying to keep it cheeky, keep it interesting. He says, oh, did they? How could I be so oblivious? Henrik says, anyway, it's 13 for me. So 13 women, that's, let's say it's average. We're just gonna say it's average to both of them. I don't care. Is it? That just sort of happens. I never put much thought into it. Fair play. What about you, Lucas? Lucas says, well, again, I hate to kiss and tell, and this seems a tad vulgar. You know, Lucas is a man of class. He doesn't want to tell us. Let's say you don't have to. You don't have to say if you don't want to, Lucas. We all understand. He smiles at us, gives us some heart eyes, and he says, what? Where's the fun in that? Tell us. Damn, Gary is pressed. Lucas sighs. He says, very well. My magic number is 7. So he slept with 7 girls. 7, that's, let's say, pretty average. He's like, thanks, I thought it was respectable. Get some hard eyes with that one. Boom. Lucas says, I'm not the sort of guy who beds everything that walks. Ooh. He looks over at Gary. So the question is, what has Gary been doing? Noah pops in and he says, so guys, time for the big question. Who do you fancy? Noah, you actually spoke. I do want to have something to say. Hell yeah, so tell us, who do you fancy? I'd forgotten how silky smooth your voice was. He's like, settle down, Bobby. Anyway, boys, who do you fancy? Lucas says, I'll go first. For me, it's gotta be Hoella. Boom, boom. So that's 1 out of 2 boys that are fancying your girl, Hoella. He says, you're definitely the type of woman I'd go for, and I'd love to get to know you better. Hell yes. So what is Hoella gonna do? Especially while ROCCO's right there. Let's go ahead and flirt with him. You're not so bad yourself. ROCCO says, I'm right here, you know. ROCCO, you're gonna do it to us soon. Henrik says, I'm definitely into Lottie. For now. She's my type all over. Lottie tries to hide a smile. Bobby says, another brave soul who dares try to tame the beast. Lottie playfully elbows Bobby in the side. He says, what? Just warning the fellow what kind of lass he's chosen. Dang. So Gary's sinking back into his seat some more. Well, boys, it looks like you've got some competition. Are you prepared for it, ROCCO? No, he's not. He says, always. Boy, bye. You're about to give up and flirt with somebody else. And besides, these guys aren't a real threat. You'll never know. Gary says, right then, I guess I should give you the tour of the villa. Marisol's like, wouldn't that be a job for us? He's like, no, babe. We should do it as a group. Fine, I suppose we should get started then, huh? While the new boys are shown around the villa they're already familiar with, because, you know, they've been watching it on TV. Hoella and Priya have gone to natter on the daybeds. Hoella, you put the grr in girl with that outfit. Okay, thank you. It's so hot. She's like, thanks, Priya. But anyways, that was some morning. I'm gonna say this morning, let's say it couldn't have been better. She's like, tell me about it. I still can't believe you ran down without telling us. Did you see Lottie's face? So good. It was priceless, Priya, priceless. So tell me, babe, how do you feel about Lucas? He said he fancies you after all. Let's say, I think he's super cute. Priya's like, no doubt about that. The things I do to him. If only I'd brought my handcuffs. Okay, so Priya is a freak in the sheets. So what do you think you'll do if he asks us to couple up with him? Let's see. If he asks us to couple up with him, we're going to couple up with him. End of it. No holding you back, eh? Nothing. Can you even at least share him, even if it's just for an evening? Priya, you have Ibrahim. I can't believe we've been here less than a week. It seems so much longer. Okay, so Bobby shows up. He's like, hey, gals. Look at Bobby, so cute. He says, your new look is pure class, Hoella. And he gives us some heart eyes. Oh, Bobby. We're like, thanks, Bobby. So sweet. I wish I could be with you. Bobby's voice snaps us out of our conversation with Priya. You look up at him and he's holding 3 steaming mugs. I noticed you weren't with the rest of us and then realized that no one had made you a brew yet. So Bobby brought us some tea. You guys know that is like my weakness. You bring me a drink. He holds out the mug. Mostly like hot drinks, tea, coffee, not like drink. He says, so here you go. All right, so he brought us some tea. Priya eagerly takes the mug away from Bobby. She's like, thanks, Bobby. It's still cool enough out here to drink this. Anyway, here's yours, Hoella. Okay, so he's handing us our tea. I think we should. He wants to know how we're feeling about the new boys. That's fine. Let's accept the tea. We clasp the warm mug in our hand and we take a sip. It's one of the best cup of teas you've had. This is amazing, Bobby. He says, you're welcome. I was always told I had a knack for making tea. I don't get it, though. It's not hard. It's just hot water and some dried leaves and all. Well, listen, you got the ratio right then, buddy boy. I guess I'd better rejoin the Gary tour bus. Priya's like, aren't you going to ask what we're talking about? I assume it's about the new boys, right? What your opinions about them are none of my business. He says, I just wanted to bring you a cup of tea. I love Bobby. I do. I really love Bobby. I really do love Bobby. He says, enjoy. And he just heads right on back inside the villa. God, I wish we could go for Bobby. Bobby is, I'm going to say, let's keep it neutral and say, let's say he's up to something. Priya's like, when is he not, babe? Lottie's a lucky guy to be coupled up with him. Even if they are just like a friendship couple. The two of us continue to relax and wait for the group to return. Okay, so that was a new day, part 1 of that day, where we got to meet Lucas and Henrique and get a little bit cheeky with that. Next time I know, we've got some dates coming up, and your girl is going to scoot ROCCO right to the side and welcome Lucas and Henrique with open arms and flirt with them as much as she possibly can to get them to be Team Hoella. I've had time to think about season 3 and what happened in day 9. And I think for me, we might stick with Ty. I feel like Ty has always been a flirt and we shouldn't take it personal that he's still acting the same way with this new girl. Because, first of all, Lily is nothing like Thotella. She can't hold her own, and there's just no reason why we should feel threatened by her. So that's my thought process. Now, who knows what's going to happen when we show up at day 10, okay? But the game is almost over, and we need to commit. And who knows? They might be playing us, and it might be a misunderstanding, and they might be playing us. And I'm not about to let the game play us, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to keep playing this game and I'll catch you guys shortly. Peace.